Hi guys, I'm Shmee, and today on the Where's Shmee Euro Tour, I want to talk a little bit about the car that we are currently driving. I'm not sure if I should say car or some kind of insane monster that is the TechArt GT Street R. We've been driving it on the Autobahn, going 300 kilometers an hour, enjoying the car in many ways, but also kind of just using it as a bit of a road trip car to see if something this insane can be used as a fairly normal car. So what I want to do now is show you around it in a bit more detail, talk a little bit about what it's like, then take it out for a little bit of a drive, basically run over the details of the 720 horsepower, insane looking thing that is sat behind me. So let's go straight in and take a look. And the first thing is the colour. It's Daphne green, it is very bright. In fact, up here it's almost a little bit camouflaged with the sort of black and green and whatnot. We're out in a nice area of roads to drive. Benzene Ben, just chilling. Well, I show you the eyes of the car. So let's walk around it. TechArt's Aero Kit, of course, full conversion package for the 911 991 Turbo or Turbo S. So this car starts as a Turbo S with 580 horsepower and 750 Newton meters of torque, except here we have 720 horsepower. That is 140 up from standard. And we have 920 Newton meters, 170 up from standard. So you're going to do your 0 to 100 kilometers an hour run in about 2.7 seconds, down from the standard 2.9. They've even had it clocked at 2.5 on the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s. You're going to do 0 to 200 kilometers an hour, 124 miles per hour, in 8.5 seconds, just down from the standard 9.9. So quite significantly quicker, and I can tell you from driving this thing on the Autobahn, it is fast. Very, very, very fast. So let's look around at some of the other sort of modifications cosmetically. So you've got the active aero rear wing. It's been wind tunnel tested to work in conjunction with everything else on the car. Carbon fibre naturally, you can see the way it goes in and out. You've got an extra scoop here for cooling air down into the engine, catching the air that comes over the top. Down at the rear, new exhaust system, titanium exhaust, quadruple pipes, always looks cool, sounds pretty good too. And everywhere you look, the GT Street R badging, a name that's become, well, quite well known as TechArt's sort of top product, especially in this instance. So in terms of bodywork, new carbon fibre panels like this new bumper, completely made from carbon fibre, some visual parts in the satin carbon, enlarged air scoop for the side vents. It is, of course, the 3.8 litre flat six engine, twin turbocharged, so there's a lot of cooling needed for that. The doors are the original component, but everything forwards has changed. So new carbon fibre louvres, well, whole carbon panel obviously, but louvres designed to sort out the air that builds up in the wheel well. New carbon fibre bonnet, TechArt badge naturally. Carbon fibre front bumper with large sort of scoops for cooling and airflow through the car. But this is a Turbo S, so it has a lot of the sort of comforts and practicalities too, which seems a little bit absurd when you see the car and you're looking at it like this. Like, we've got a sunroof, a nice big glass panoramic roof that opens up, even though you can start to see the green roll cage in there too. So if we jump on the inside, have a quick glimpse in here. The car has the Club Sport interior, completely retrimmed, new fit and finish in every way. It's the standard seats, but retrimmed to match the exterior. If I fold that forwards, you can see the the roll cage behind the bucket, and the matching helmet down there that you might have seen in the launch video when we picked up the car the other day. You've got all sorts of touches like the lime green for the mode selector of the driving style. But basically in here is, well, apart from being quite sporty with the bucket seats, you have all the creature comforts and usual conveniences of a 911 Turbo S. So keyless, for example, I'll just get the key out of my pocket so you can see it. Lovely bright green key to match the body with the TechArt fob, but it's keyless, so that can be in your pocket, and you just turn this. And this is where it starts to feel very GT3. It's got a kind of rumble to it, a raw feeling. Open the valves with Sport Plus, and that's another cool thing. When it's in normal, that actually reverts back to stock configuration, and then Sport mode and Sport Plus have the valves open as well as the extra power, and you notice so much difference when you're driving between those modes. It's really, really, really exaggerated with the driving settings and style of this car. revs very, very quick. You've got that kind of traditional rev Porsche noise, but all the comforts, like I said, all the sort of electronics, the entertainment side of things, some more nice sort of TechArt touches with the Sport Chrono with the green as well. I like the GT Street R badge on there, this being car number 1 of course because it's the factory car, but it's fully done with the Club Sport package, the harnesses that naturally we've done away with and we're using the regular seat belts, so you can push the harnesses around the side and you don't have to use them. You don't have to use this very aggressive buckle system, although of course if you want to you can, but otherwise you can get rid of it, so it's not going to be too much of a trouble while you're driving in the car. Well, the sun's just come back out, so let me knock this off for a second, come have a glance at the colour in the bright sunshine that we have here. You can even see the striping design. So I should talk a little bit more about the craving for it, but I'll probably get to that when we start heading back. But it just looks mental. There's no real way to describe it. It's perhaps completely over the top, but that's its charm. That's what makes it quite so awesome. Anyway, for the time being, like I said, let's jump in, take the car for a little drive, see what it's about. If you just pull away gently, it kind of feels like, well, a little bit like a normal 911, except for there being a little bit more exhaust noise and kind of the rawness to that sound. But the gearbox is super smooth. One of the most seamless gearboxes that's out there. The ride is, well, on a road like this, a smooth road surface to start from, perfectly decent. And it's kind of just a gentle cruiser, so for a road trip car, it actually works kind of well. There's nothing to really complain about. But then the flip side is when you start dialing it up and you go, let's say, into Sport Plus mode, even with the automatic PDK box, 7-speed PDK box, you start to have an awful lot of fun from it. And obviously you can then flip it into manual, where you've got TechArt's new paddle shifters with the sort of soft backs, and you get a lot more of the noise and a lot more of the drama and a whole lot of the speed. No understating required here. The car is very fast. It launches you. It picks up so quickly you wouldn't really believe it unless you actually experience it. And we're kind of exploring the middle of nowhere here, but the roads are so lovely in this country. It's a very nice place to be driving. So in general terms about the car, well, you've got all the electronics, the sort of creature comforts, that kind of thing. The buckets, they're very straight backed, but that's a Porsche thing in general. Ride is smooth, steering is light enough when you're driving gently, but thumbs up and becomes aggressive enough when you want that out of it too. I'm just trying to find a way to a nice open road. That would be the perfect thing next. Here we go. We'll be able to head out this way. We can navigate around this. There we go. Okay, nice open road. Off we go. It's so fast! Okay, well, I mean, obviously 2.5 seconds or so to 100 kilometers an hour and the fun's over, because that would be where the limit lies in Germany. But out on the Autobahns, it's the way it picks up when you're sort of at 250 already and you keep accelerating that's just the craziest thing. So why I seem to be falling in love with this thing very quickly is that it's the whole over-the-top drama of it. It is ridiculously in your face. It is lime green and completely covered with black stripes and carbon accents and highlights and all sorts of ridiculous things everywhere. But somehow it just seems to work. It's just cool. It's just, I don't know, it's just as a package, it's something quite special, unique, it stands out. And yeah, I love it. But I think, do you know what? I almost wanted to have a little bit more noise to go with the drama of how it looks. So you've got this retractable front spoiler and the rear spoiler. So the aero rear wing can go up and the front spoiler can come down. Obviously that happens when you're driving fast to give it more downforce to hold the front nose down to the ground, lift the rear, well, not lift the rear, but set up the balance of the airflow over the car at the rear and plant the back down on the ground too. But that's what lets you drive it at 300 on the Autobahn with so much precision and grip. And the way it just sticks. So we're using this car for this road trip. We've got all of our luggage just in the front. We haven't needed to squeeze bags in back behind the seats, although you can fold the seats and put some soft bags between the cage. But it's all just squeezed in. It's done the job, he says, and I've got a van behind me. I'm clearly not going fast enough. Out into the sunshine. You've got bright green when you look in your door mirrors of the wide sort of scoops, and then the Oh yes, those downshifts are just savagely fast, and then you've got the burbles that come after it. I'll continue, see if I have any more thoughts as we go. Next stop, Autobahn, and a fairly quick Autobahn at that as well. Let's see what the car is going to be like as we pull out here onto a bit of de-restricted motorway. A legal environment, obviously we're safe to do so. You never want to do anything silly unless it's actually an appropriate location, but off we go! Goodness, the way it just picks up speed is ridiculous! 200 already! Whew. This is one quick machine. In typical style, it looks like I'm probably not going to get a run today because it's just way too busy on the Autobahn. Lots of cars everywhere, so I'm just going to have to cruise. But let's talk about a couple more things in the car, and the first is rear visibility. So between the roll cage at the top end of the window and the rear wing that, when it's in its raised position, is blocking the bottom of the window, basically I have no visibility at all backwards. I can't see anything. Door mirrors, okay, standard Porsche mirrors, but you can't see too much because you've still got the wing hanging out over the sides. So in terms of visibility, not the best in the world, shall we say. And like I said earlier, you know, the sound thing, when you hear it going up to 250 kilometers an hour, it's just a kind of whir in the background. There's no drama or sense of going that fast, although maybe that's why it's perfect in Germany. And we were sort of thinking also about the seatbelts, because you have your standard 3-point seatbelt, or you have the 5-6-point harness. I think it's a 6-point, and they kind of get very much in the way of each other, so you have to kind of move one out of the way to be able to use the other properly. But there are lots and lots of really cool touches in here that I want to show you too. So we'll see if we get another run on the Autobahn, but if not, we'll pull off later on and have a look around. It's a shame not to have any more open stretches on the drive, but what a machine is this. Like I said though, a couple of other things I want to show you. First is the bonnet, full carbon bonnet created for the car. We can pop that open with the key. There's a latch under here, but I want to show you on the underside where you've got the TechArt logo and the carbon fibre, which is quite neat as well. You can see the carbon of that, and then our luggage that fits in quite neatly in the front. There's a suitcase at the bottom, a couple of bags, nice and easy. Click that down with the TechArt badge on the front. The next thing I want to show you is the panoramic roof. So this is a sunroof, even though it's got the stripes on the top. If I come in and start the car, we can see this quickly. Maybe I don't need to start it. Let's do it anyway. Everyone likes that. So you can see the way the trim piece is done up here, which is really neat. If you open the sunroof, which he says, where is it? It's this. There we go. You've got the cover off, and you've got that design that kind of continues through, which is cool. And then you go a bit further and open it up that away, and you've got the full sunroof open. So I guess slightly paradoxical having a sunroof on a track spec car because the weight is up towards the top, but it looks cool. I like the way the design is done on the underneath, even if it's a little bit funny. Let's pull the shade forwards as well. And done. So basically enjoying driving the car an awful lot, and everything going pretty much to plan. Shut it back off, step out. And it's getting towards the end of the day now. Sun's heading down, but we're near to our destination, our final stop for this leg in, I guess, Kermit the Green Beastie. So like I said, bit of a craving for this thing, because when you experience putting power down in the way that does, the all-wheel drive, the very easy steering at motorway speeds, and the way you can be going 200 and it just keeps accelerating and keeps going. It is effortlessly fast without that much drama. It's kind of the Bugatti effect, that you're just flying along the road without, I don't know, and you just sort of think, wait a second, I'm actually driving really fast. And this has a top speed of 340 kilometers an hour, up from the standard 330 in the Series Turbo S. yeah, it's fast. It's really, really, really freaking fast. So far so good. Loving the car. It's a big thanks to TechArt that they're letting me use it and drive it and explore around Germany and, well, onwards further beyond with this thing. And I hope you guys are enjoying the content, the pictures, and some of the places we're visiting too. But yeah, what a machine. I'll come back to you with a little bit more about it when we are continuing the journey, continuing the adventure. We're going to be driving through the Alps in the car. That will be quite an experience as well. And obviously many photos to come too. Anyway, thank you very much as always for watching, guys. If you aren't subscribed, make sure you do so now. And there'll be a lot more to come in the rest or during the rest of this tour. That's it for now though. I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers.